I'm gonna get me big baby.
Hellboy, the child of a demon, was summoned to Earth by an evil mystic named Grigory Rasputin. But contrary to his parentage, Hellboy became the savior of mankind, protecting us from numerous evil entities, be it vampires, werewolves, demons, or elemental beings with unlimited power. Hellboy does have immense powers and abilities, but that doesn't mean he would not want himself a good old firearm. After all, he grew up amongst professionals and was also trained by them. In fact, in the comics, he joins the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense at the age of 8. So, what firearms does Hellboy use? Well, they're called Good Samaritan and Big Baby, two exceptional weapons that go beyond any conventional weapon. So, let's begin, shall we?
I'm not a very good shot, but the Samaritan here uses really big bullets.
Number 1. Good Samaritan. So in the Guillermo del Toro movies, the first gun that Hellboy uses is the Good Samaritan, an awesome weapon capable of inflicting some heavy damage on just about anything. But how did the Oscar-winning director come up with the idea of Good Samaritan? Well, in Hellboy comics, the demon spawn used a gun given to him by a superhero named the Torch of Liberty. This guy is long gone because of some legal issues, but not forgotten. He belonged to the Second World War era, and it was he who gave Hellboy his first gun, which went on to become the inspiration behind the titular character's cinematic guns. And now, let's get into the Good Samaritan. Oh wait, that came out a bit wrong, but you know what I mean, right? Anyway, in the first Del Toro movie, Hellboy's Good Samaritan uses special custom-made bullets that can damage just about any material and hurt almost all supernatural creatures. The 10-pound, 22mm revolver comes with a capacity of 4 rounds, and the gun itself is extremely durable, in the sense that it has some unearthly resistance to damage, so if you shot the gun, it would still remain intact. The grip of Good Samaritan has been carved from the fragments of the real cross on which Jesus was crucified. And as for the other parts of the gun, the metal was forged from various holy articles like Irish church bells, blessed silver, and cold iron from crucifixes. As for the rounds, Hellboy makes them himself using holy and supernaturally powerful ingredients such as white oak, garlic, silver shavings, clove leaves, and holy water. So, you see, each of these ingredients has the power to fend off a specific kind of evil or monster. And for those enemies or situations that need some good old explosive force, Hellboy covers the bullets in an explosive coating, getting the best of both worlds, mortal and immortal. Additionally, he uses something called the tracking rounds, which basically carry within themselves a phosphorescent green liquid that keeps reeking from the wound they create after hitting the target. So Hellboy can track such targets which would otherwise stay evasive. But of course, the Good Samaritan is not all good and comes with a bunch of issues. Firstly, the 4-round capacity is fairly low and inefficient. Secondly, it becomes difficult to reload the gun with his enormous fingers on his right hand of doom, which you must know is not his natural hand. Additionally, he usually fires it only with his left hand because of the same reason. But even with the limitations, Good Samaritan is a powerful weapon. In the movies, Hellboy uses Good Samaritan to take down Samael, the Hound of Resurrection, Lord of Shadows, Harbinger of Pestilence, and it was the son of Nergal Jahad, so you see, it was quite an adversary. However, Samaritan's bullets managed to kill the creature, but it came back to life because of its abilities to resurrect. In Hellboy 2, the demon hero fought the Golden Army. Now, this nigh indestructible army was created on the orders of the 11th king named Baelor. But upon seeing the sheer havoc the Golden Army could bestow upon the opponents, he decommissioned the army. But of course, the army was later revived by the son of Baelor. Although considered to be indestructible, Hellboy fired rounds from Good Samaritan straight into the interiors of the Golden Soldiers, destroying them. But that's just Good Samaritan. Things get better and better when Hellboy starts using what he calls the Big Baby.
I'm gonna get me big baby.
Number 2. Big Baby. As I mentioned, Big Baby is bigger than Good Samaritan, and unlike the massive revolver, Big Baby is more of a hand cannon that fires extremely oversized rounds for targets that won't go down easily. For instance, elemental gods like the Forest God from Hellboy 2. The gun's top brake loading and lever action make it a bit more dependable because you can fire multiple rounds in quick succession, and the fact that it's got a 6-round capacity makes it a better weapon. The gun fires 2 rounds at a time, and each of these propels like a grenade or a miniature rocket. Although the exact composition of the rounds has not been mentioned anywhere, it's safe to assume that they resemble the rounds of Good Samaritan. Furthermore, the fact that these rounds are huge, they develop more momentum when fired, and stopping them would need more force than stopping a smaller or lighter weapon coming at the same speed. You see, momentum is basically the product of mass and velocity, so if either of those is high in one projectile and the other factor is constant in both projectiles, the impact will be more in the former weapon or projectile. Additionally, the gun itself is so big that Hellboy usually has to carry it with 2 hands to fire, but he can hold it with his right hand of doom. In Hellboy 2, the Force God was wreaking havoc left and right and center. Once Hellboy heard that it was a god, he went straight to pick up Big Baby. He loads the gun and shoots close to the head of the elemental. In the end, he fires again to end the elemental for good. A rather heart-wrenching scene it was, I must admit. Marvelous verdict. I believe Hellboy's weapons are just as cool as the hero he is, and just as deadly as the monsters he faces. If you like this video, I think you should definitely check out our video on the most disturbing monsters that Guillermo del Toro has created over time. I'll leave you a link in the description.
You woke up the baby.